In a hyper-connected society where everything is connected, we rely on numerous identification processes. Checking email, ordering food, attending video conferences, even watching movies. But is the authentication process actually safe? Reliance on the use of static information for authentication means we have been forced to face endless threats from leakages and abuse of information. Authentication methods, which use biometric information, make it impossible to respond flexibly to any physical changes. We need a technology which offers a simpler and more secure way to connect our daily life and business, which also frees us from external threats. Enter Switch's innovative authentication technology, OTAC. With Switch's OTAC technology, you can utilize user authentication and device authentication through a one-time, randomly generated dynamic code. Even better, you can do all of this without being connected to a network. The threat of information leakage and access restrictions due to unstable communication infrastructure is no longer a problem. It uses a unidirectional authentication process, saving time and providing the optimal environment for business automation. A simpler and more secure security environment. A groundbreaking technology for our lives and business. Switch OTAC technology can be applied to our general lives and to all industries that require ICT technology. Create an innovative payment. Open the door to your car. Or even start the engine in an off-the-network environment. In IoT communications, including drones, the one-time dynamic authentication code can be applied to provide a revolution in security. In an era of Industry 4.0, the dream of perfect automation between numerous devices can now become reality. OTAC provides a new level of safety and convenience to user authentication and access, which are now essential to our daily life and business. It helps enterprise easily collaborate and continue their creative tasks by protecting corporate assets, data, and people. In the defense industry, OTAC's one-way random code provides the safe IFF, avoiding leakage of authentication codes. OTAC technology makes all of this possible. In addition, it is small enough to be embedded anywhere. A hyper-connected society is the result of constant connection, but crucial to its success is a more sophisticated connected security technology. Like oxygen, it is everywhere. Safer technology to protect us all from external threats and information leakage. Innovate security with Switch.
Sandstone is an authentication cybersecurity startup established in November 2015. We currently hold over 190 patents globally with our original technology called OTAC, One-Time Authentication Code, that is completely different from the current authentication technologies. I think at this point we have received pretty much every single award that a cybersecurity startup can in Korea. You know, recently we've been selected as the #1 baby unicorn startup by Korean government. We've also received some global awards such as Cybersecurity Breakthrough Award, Europass, and etc. Also, we established Switch, SWIDCH. It is our global business headquarters in London in December 2018. And currently, with a company value of about 120 million US dollars, we are aiming for an IPO for the end of next year. every day is a new challenge. Some people say when money is tight, it can be a problem. But for me, the toughest moment was back in 2017 when I realized that with the current product, scale up was impossible. Trying to figure out what to do, how to do, I felt like was stuck. And I felt alone. You know, leaders are often loners' heart. The moment I discovered the solution to the problem I've just talked about, at the very moment I developed the core of OTAC algorithm. It took me over a year. Everyone was telling me I was crazy, but I never gave up, and in the end, I proved myself right. It was Eureka moment. I think I actually shouted it, Eureka! So yeah, that was probably a movie-like moment for me. One-time authentication code technology, we call it OTAC. This is the core of Sandstone based on the world's first one-way dynamic authentication technology. OTAC generates a dynamic code which does not duplicate with anybody else at any given time. Current tokenization technology requires bidirectional communication and ring structure, whereas OTAC can identify a target with a dynamic code alone, which is generated in clients such as OTP. And the code is generated in an off-the-network environment, no network needed. OTAC utilized only the strengths and the advantage of the current authentication technologies, providing much more secure authentication. OTAC does not require two-way communication with the main server in order to generate a dynamic code, which means OTAC can be applied to any environment, online, offline, from financial services to smart city, any business where the strong authentication technologies is required. The scalability of the OTAC technology is very, very broad. We can enter any market where the information technology is needed. You know, cybersecurity technologies are not something that people are super excited about. It never won a competition against other startups focusing in e-commerce, AI, or robots, etc. But in this case, 30% of the score was from the public, and 70% was from experts in the industry, which says a lot about our technology. From this event, we received a lot of help in Series A's fundraising. Well, I know for sure that it's our technology, OTAC, that has made everything possible. OTAC is not the technology that is slightly better than the current technologies, but it is something revolutionary. Yeah, it must have technology. And I think people can see the potential of OTAC technology. Sandstone showed a steady revenue growth till 2020 with our first authentication solution, working with many clients, including major finance companies, governments, universities, etc. And with OTAC, we are also expanding our business globally. We currently hold over 190 patents globally and more to come. For example, first of all, in Indonesia, Doku, a Peach company, have started utilizing OTC instead of the current tokenization technology. Indonesia has an unstable network environment, which can be a big problem for the tokenization technology, whereas OTC does not need the bidirectional network. And next, the Indonesian government has decided to use OTAC in the 4 businesses: Token ID, SMS service, Smart Grid, and eStamp. Third, also Switch, our global business headquarters in London, have received the UK government Smart Grant. We are relating to the payment service where we developed a physical card with OTC so that senior citizens can enjoy safer financial services. Final one, and we have completed POCs and programs with many European companies, including Continental Automotive, Thales, and currently developing new business models. Since 2011, I've been following the top 10 IT and cybersecurity issues, and I remember since 2014, 80% of the IT issues and cybersecurity issues have been pretty same, which means cybersecurity has become really important. Now that everything is connected to the network, AI is everywhere like in the movie. Do you know how much market share Korea has in the global cybersecurity market? Just 1%. We've expanded our business to the 99% global market with our global headquarters in UK. Like I mentioned earlier, we've received a lot of global awards, accepted to many accelerating programs in global cybersecurity market. So eventually, we want to show the world that a Korean cybersecurity startup can become a true unicorn in cybersecurity areas. Sandstone does not provide final product or final services. We provide OTA's technology to our partners so that they can use it in their products or services and make money. Basically, collaboration. We want to be an innovation enabler. First, we were very focused on payment and access management only, but I believe IoT market will grow bigger because of the digital transformation. When everything is connected to the network, obviously the cybersecurity issues are not just individual problems, but social problems. People will depend more on the network, and the authentication will be highly centralized, and this is where OTAC comes in. OTAC reduces dependency in communication between servers, and it creates decentralized dynamic authentication structure, so it can be a solution to this problem. COVID-19 has changed everything. We are now working from home. We like virtual meeting more, which I see as inevitable. These have further accelerated globalization. I've already told you that the IoT will become more important in the future technology. So again, the authentication security issues will become pretty serious too. OTAC is an algorithm which can be applied to any product, any services, any solution in any type. So our vision and goal is to become the oxygen in all IT environment. We can make this happen by offering our OTAC technology to many areas and developing more and more business models.
Hello, I'm Carl Jung from Sandstone. Sandstone is a cybersecurity startup company in Korea. I'm in charge of business development and intellectual property. One-time authentication code called OTAC is our innovative algorithm that can uniquely match without creating any duplicates. Three most widely used authentication methods are ID and password, tokenization, and OTP, but these all have limitations. First, the most common method is ID and password authentication. It is possible only by user input, but it is vulnerable to rig because the value is static. Second, because OTP is a variable code, it solves the disadvantages of the fixed ID and password, but because of duplication between users, it can only be used as a secondary authentication method after user authentication by other method. Third, the tokenization method is used alone for authentication due to a variable code from server, but communication between server and client is essential. Until now, there has been no technology capable of independent authentication with dynamic code alone in a networkless environment. Sandstone developed the OTAC algorithm, a new authentication technology that has all the advantages of existing authentication technologies. The OTAC technology independently generates a dynamic code that never duplicates with others in a networkless environment. And the OTAC transmitted in one direction authenticates the user alone. The C source code for OTAC algorithm is only 4 kilobytes, so it can be easily applied to various applications. The OTAC algorithm was evaluated by Telecommunications Technology Association in Korea and the research team at Surrey University in the UK. And it was evaluated by KB Bank in Korea for its financial application and the research team at the Graduate School of Information Security at Korea University for its drone control application. This is how the OTAC system works. A client device has an OTAC generator. It generates OTAC independently without communication with the server after the initialization. Thanks to this compact 4 kilobyte OTAC generator, the client device can be mobile app, scene display card, drone controller, IoT device, and so on. The OTAC can be transmitted to the server, including an OTAC verifier, through the existing infrastructure. The OTAC verifier uses only OTAC to authenticate the user and check the validity of the code. The OTAC verifier can be included in not only server computer, but also drone, connected car, router, and USIM, depending on use cases. The OTAC cannot include any part of actual alphanumeric value, such as actual card number and actual drone command code. And additional information such as starting time and expiration date for digital key can be fully integrated in the dynamic code. And the ranks of OTAC can be set easily according to the use cases. Therefore, these are 5 characteristics of OTAC algorithm. Based on these characteristics, OTAC can be widely applied to the areas where existing authentication is used and where appropriate authentication technology is required. OTAC technology is protected by over 200 registered patents and patent applications around the world. The patent portfolio becomes a safeguard against competitors for secure global business expansion. Sandstone is B2B innovation enabler with OTAC technology. OTAC is the confident solution for your business concerns. You can find more detailed explanations on the website below. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.